Congratulations! You become the manager. You have done some stunning work already and you move up to for first time manager in your life. So now in this video I'm going to give you the 7 super tips for you so you can be successful manager and move to a senior manager or director to your career. You are ready, right? You want to get successful, right? Let's get started. Tip number 1, you got to be very focused about this one. Before I start talking about the tip number 1, I want to explain to you, it's very important. Research shows that people really decide how long they're going to work for a company. Maximum thing they're going to depend on the manager. So that means how you're going to lead your team has a serious impact of your team talent retention and also overall the company culture as well too. And do not forget that your interaction, your behavior, your speak is going to have a huge impact with a lot of people who are working with on their lives. You need to have the realization right now. Until now, you have done some stunning work in your career and that's why you have moved up to become a manager. But now it's the time to make a lot of impacts for other people's lives. So the tip number 1. Care. You need to learn how to care, because until now all the things you have cared about mostly of the time about yourself, or there was someone to care about you. But now you become a manager. Now your role is to take care of all the people on your team and help them so they can perform better. You can guide them so they can move forward to their life. So, and the career as well too, and your team become more achieving great result. So you need to start showing care. That's the tip number 1. So now, the tip number 2. The tip number 2, you really need to work with the teammates and really understand what they're expecting from you. So if you got a team of 5, you should have one-on-one meetings with each of them and really document each of their expectation. And then you can filter this out, which expectation is realistic and which expectation are not realistic. And now this is the point. You're going to put it all together and make a consolidated view, and the thing is not realistic. You need to be communicating and let them know that hey, that expectation is not liberal or not make sense at this stage. We're going to take it later. So now this thing is very important. Know their expectation and you communicate to them and how you're going to meet the expectation you should start thinking about. So that was tip number 2. So now let's do that. Tip number 3. Now know your manager's expectation on you. So that means you're a manager, right? You're reporting to let's say a director, or maybe you're reporting to a senior manager. Know what is their expectation on you, because it's very important to you, because until now you've been reporting to a manager before and now you become a manager. So now your expectation from the company, from your reporting line will be very, very different what it used to be from your when you are not a manager. So you really need to capture those expectations for your supervisor so you can start to take actions and take plan. And that is what related to the tip number 4. So in this one, now you're a manager, you need to build some kind of vision for your team. You need to understand what is the strategy of the company. You need to understand what is the strategy of the division. Let's say about you are a manager or you are in IT. So you're reporting to IT director. So you need to work very clearly or closely and understand what is the direction or what is the strategy of the IT department he or she is driving, so you can start to put your vision into it and drive your units or manage your team to that goal. So it's look like a one big car having a lot of wheels and you are one of them moving forward. So this is where the synchronization is very, very critical for your success. It's actually important for your success too, not for your team only, but it's very important for your success. So that's what, know your supervisor expectation very clearly and work on it. So that was the tip number. So now the next tip, the tip number on this one, you gotta find yourself available. You need to make yourself more available to your team. Before you have been focused a lot of your works, creating some great result, that's fine. But now you become a manager. So now you really need to work with your team, understand your team. So anytime your team need you, you should be there. It doesn't mean that physically, but they call you, you should be answering. They text you, you should be answering. They make an email, you should be answering. Plus, at the same time, you should be actually scheduling some kind of weekly meeting with your teams, and which you can actually organize in a different, efficient way. If you don't know how to run a meeting, I actually made a whole new videos for that, how to run an effective meeting. So I'm going to put a link into this corner. So go ahead and click, and after finishing this video, you watch that. So you learn how to run effective meeting, because you really need to, when you are a manager, meeting is one of your great tools, and that video is going to show you how you can effectively use meetings for driving productivity to your team and achieve the great goals. All right? So tip number 7. So on this one is very important. When you become a manager, a lot of young manager, first-time manager, start to act like they know everything. They're always right. They never make mistakes. That is one of the greatest reasons most of them actually fail. So when you are becoming a manager, you can still make mistakes. So you can still make bad decisions, and you can still make some kind of wrong decision as well too. So on this one, you need to be vulnerable. If you make a mistake, apologize immediately. Hey, thank you. I think that was not a great result, and I think that I could make a better decision. I'm going to learn from it. Let's work together and let's fix it. So don't act like you are invincible. You are off the roof. You never make a bad mistakes. You cannot apologize. Do this one, guys. If you are a manager, you should be always vulnerable. But by the way, but if you are a manager and you are like, oh, I break this one, oh, that's wrong too, oh, that decision is wrong too, oh my god, I forgot to reply to, oh my god, I did not give you the task to. That is not a vulnerability. That is your competency issue. You are not ready to be a manager, but being fortunate you have been promoted to manager, so you can work on your hard skill. But what I'm saying here, you gotta be vulnerable. You should not be acting like you are invincible and you're always right. You should be working with your team and find out what is the best idea and what is the best decision, and then bring your whole team to work together to achieve that goal. All right? So that's a very important one. So now I'm going to give you the last one. The last one is, when you are becoming a manager, now you need to have some kind of decision making ability. Even you don't know everything, you need to find out all the related informations in your team available, put it together and make the best call possible. So on this one, sometimes you don't have enough information to make the right decision, but you still need to make the decision, because otherwise team will be too late to delivering on something. And that is where you gotta follow your gut's feeling, and you have to take the risk, calculated risk, to achieve the goals. So now, more you will practice this on. This is something, it's like a muscle. Like more you practice on this one, more muscle you're gonna build on this one. So that is gonna help you out. So don't be afraid making decisions. Make decisions, communicate with your decisions too, and also be vulnerable to if it went wrong as well. And also, when you're vulnerable, but not like you keep learning all the time and keep always make mistakes, but you learn from the mistakes, and that's the journey of being a great manager. So congratulations one more time, you become the first time manager. Let's follow these 7 tips, and I'm sure that if you follow it rightly, in next 6 to 8 1 year of time, you'll be a great manager, and that will be a great kicker for you to move up to the next level of your career. Until then, all the best. And if you got any other idea, if you have any problem, you're becoming a first manager, and you got any particular problem, go ahead and comment below. I'll love to answer with you. At the same time, if you got any other exciting tips when you become the first manager, go ahead and comment the video too. I'll love to listen to your tips, and other viewers know your tips as well too. And alright, congratulations. Keep doing some great work. See you soon. Bye.